I make so much bread I can knock out a gluten-free community. Thanks for the opportunity. When opportunity knocks, I'm gonna be like The Rock. I'm gonna knock off your socks. You'll be standing there holding your cocks. The name is Smelly, and no one likes me because there's no one like me. But fuck it, none of y'all will fight me. This is Mark Bell from SuperTraining Gym. SuperTraining Gym, the strongest gym in the West. And I'm here laying down another power project. It's been a long time, and I say that every time I do the power project. And then I say that I'm gonna do more, and then I don't have time for it, and then I don't do it. And then I say things so outrageous, like I just said, that I don't have time for it, because everyone has time for everything. It's just a matter of prioritizing. So guess what I'm saying is, the way that we're starting this out, and not a great way to start this out, is I don't care about you guys enough to film these anymore. That being said, I do need to film these more. I love doing these. I love speaking to you guys in this fashion, in this way, this form of communication. First things first, or first things last, I don't know. Two things. I was recently asked two questions, and the two questions kind of molded together, and they led to this power project. Recently, I was on a podcast with a guy from Men's Health Australia, and he asked a question about, was there ever a time in the business, in my company, Slingshot, SuperTraining Gym, Power Magazine, was there ever a time where I was like, oh, okay, like, shit's going pretty good, you know, one of these, yeah, feeling pretty good about this situation. And then last night, when I was chilling with my boy Matt Vincent, name dropper, and when I was hanging out with my boy Luke Hawks, name dropper, I was just chilling with them, eating some dinner, kicking it with my family. Mariel tagged along, get it? That's her last name, tagged along. Anyway. And the question came up about being content and being satisfied. And, you know, the alpha male version of answering the question is, I ain't satisfied, right? But let me explain something to you guys. The single best thing that I can do is produce the best possible products that I can. And that's what this company is all about. That's what Slingshot's all about. That's what SuperTraining Gym is all about. It's all about quality. It's not always just about quantity. We're trying to produce a lot of stuff because I happen to have a lot of cool fucking ideas. Or I feel like I have cool ideas to share with you guys. Also, the community of strength, and the community that has surrounded me for so many years gives me motivation, gives me inspiration, and gives me ideas. And you guys even come to me with ideas sometimes. I check them out in the DM sometimes. But something that I kind of discovered recently is that it's really important to not have your mind be so attached to any one concept or idea. Your mind should be free, and you shouldn't be so tied down to these individual things. So back to the actual question, am I satisfied? Fuck yes, I'm satisfied. I am very satisfied. And I feel whatever the word content exactly means, I don't know if I'm 100% sure, but being content doesn't mean that I don't move forward. Being content doesn't mean that I don't adhere to Gradum Ferociter, which is something I shared with you guys a while back, which is step by step, ferociously. I'm going to keep bringing it each and every single day. I'm on day 85 of training, 85 days in a fucking row, and I feel awesome. I feel better right now than I ever have in my whole life. I recall being in high school, and they used to say, hey, these are the best days of your life. And I'm like, really? Catching a fucking touchdown pass for Arlington High School in LaGrange, New York, that's going to be the highlight of my fucking life? Or, you know, going to the stupid fucking high school parties and all that stuff, like that's going to be that's going to be the shit? I don't think so. Right now, with a 13-year-old son and a 9-year-old daughter and an amazing wife in my corner and an unbelievable staff at SuperTraining Gym and Slingshot, I'm having the fucking time of my life. I feel awesome. I'm going to be 41 in December. I've been lifting, that'll represent 30 years. 30 years of kicking around the iron. I started when I was about 11, got a little bit more into it when I was about 13. But that'll represent 30 years of training. And guess what? I still love it. I still enjoy it. And the reasons why I still enjoy it is because I keep switching things up and I keep making things just a little bit different. And that's going to be a key quality with you being satisfied with any forms of your life. Now, you can't switch up your wife and you can't switch out your kids, but you can do different things with them all the time, and you can have new goals and new things that you're doing constantly. You can make a goal to kind of do anything, and this kind of falls within that whole realm of are you satisfied? And I feel extremely satisfied, fulfilled, blessed, happy. I'm happy. I feel really good. And part of the reasons why I feel so good is because I've been picking off the low-hanging fruit for a really long time. I don't really ever overreach. I stay in my lane. I am not considered to be smart or scientific or any of that stuff, and so I don't try to hit you guys with that. I try to hit everybody with simplicity and being simple, because that's what I know and that's what I'm good at. I don't count calories. I do a ketogenic style diet, but I don't pee on keto sticks. I don't do anything other than just, if I want to weigh less, I weigh myself and I work on weighing less over a period of time. I don't count how much water I intake. I don't walk around with Tupperware. I grab meals on the go, and I'm leaner and in better shape and feeling amazing. The only thing that I have is a elbow injury that holds me back a little bit, but so what? It knocks my bench down about 50 pounds. Not a big deal. And some of that strength will come back anyway. I'm not really too worried about any of those things, but I am very satisfied in the things that I've done, and I feel that it's because the concentration is on producing good products. I have a lot of new things coming out, even something like this hat. This is something we worked on for a while. This hat right here, this lid, is something we worked on for quite some time, getting the correct hat that you can actually sweat in when you work out so it doesn't get gross. All these shirts, getting them bagged and tagged, and Charlie Zamora has been a huge help with a lot of that stuff. Making sure things aren't shit. I won't put stuff out that's shit. I can't even tell you guys how much inventory I've burned. Not literally. Can't do anything out here in California without anybody having a fit. I can't make a bonfire with some of my stuff. But I can't tell you guys how much inventory I had to just pass on because it wasn't correct. It wasn't right. Something was off a little bit, and I'm like, that's gross. Like, we're not selling that shit. That ain't the way we do it. So the focus, the singular focus, and the focus to produce good products, make sure that they're right, that's where I take a lot of satisfaction and pride in. We work very hard on the slingshot, very hard on the gangster raps, work very hard on the hip circles, work very hard on every product. Not every product's going to be perfect. So that's the other side of this whole thing. You can walk around and be an asshole as much as you want, and you'll never be satisfied or fulfilled with much of anything if you're trying to be perfect, because it's just not, it's not realistic. That goes back to the low-hanging fruit. Your goals can sometimes be as easy as a to-do list. Those could be some of your goals. I feel great when I accomplish some of the things that I want to do in a certain day. Now, what happens when you don't accomplish certain things in a certain day? Then you have anxiety. Then you feel like shit. You have a bad feeling about what has happened rather than a good feeling. So how many things should you do in a day on top of everything else that you have to do? I would say on top of everything that you have to do, a lot of the listeners are kids that are in school. And also, maybe some of you guys have 9 to 5s, and maybe some of you guys have regular jobs and you're going to school. Regular job, going to school, and trying to train. I would say that one thing, one thing would be, doing one thing per day would be a good idea, or maybe 2, but not any more than that. 2 things in a given day. Now, one thing could be like, hey, I need to go get a fucking haircut. And the second thing could be something where you're working on some personal development. Because if you're in school and if you're training can be personal development, but it's not quite enough. Brings me to my next point. Personal development. A guy named Jim Rohn, R-O-H-N, Jim Rohn. Guys, I can't stress enough, listen to him. When you listen to him, you may feel like this guy's old. I don't get it. He's like 60 something. I think he has passed on actually, but in the videos he's like 60 years old. If you don't get it, from this guy, you won't get it from anybody else. This guy has a lot of passion and he really understands the game. He really knows what's going on. But some of the ideas and principles that he's shared are things that have helped me out tremendously over the last couple months. He's not an exercise guy, he's a business guy, but there's tremendous value in a lot of the things that he says. Being able to pick off that low-hanging fruit is important, because having those goals and being able to achieve those goals is going to make you feel better about the different things that you're doing. So I don't ever try to overstretch or overreach. My days are pretty simple, even though they're loaded with a lot of stuff. I spend about an hour to up to 3 hours nearly every day. Probably, if I had to, well, I'm not gonna say every day, because it's not 7 days a week. I don't have time to do that. But it is probably about 4 times a week. So 4 hours. Anywhere between, we'll just say, anywhere between 4 hours and at the max 8 hours a week. I go and work on and work for, literally, for myself. So selling products and selling slingshots and stuff, guess who I'm working for? Whenever there's an exchange of money, I'm working for somebody else. So it seems like I work for myself, but I don't. I work for you. I work for you guys because I'm in a customer service industry, right? And so ultimately, who do I answer to? I got to answer to you guys. I got to answer to you guys being excited. I got to answer to you guys being upset. I got to kind of respond to all of it, right? And so with that being the main thing, where I have to I guess invest my time in that kind of stuff, I also have to invest my time in myself, by myself. In yourself, by yourself. You've got to be by yourself at least a couple times a week if you want to advance in anything. I mean, for me, this has helped my life out tremendously. Aside from training and aside from just your general stuff, it's helped me out in a bunch of different ways. It's helped me with organization. It's helped me with motivation. It's helped organize my thoughts on different things that I would have never otherwise discovered. So what do I do in these personal development smelly Mark Bell meetings? I sit there at a coffee shop. I usually go to Temple Coffee. Sometime I go to my office in downtown Davis, which is above Mishka's Coffee. I just sit there and I just chill out. I throw on some headphones and I just think. That's also where I might get in a 10-minute walk. But I literally like to do nothing during this personal development hours. And it's this hard. I know that not everyone has a phone, and not everybody has a laptop, and not everybody has access to computers, not everybody has access to the internet, right? Here's where it gets really tricky. I go on a thing called YouTube, and I watch, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children and men of all ages, and women. The internet is not just for pornography. I know a couple people of you unsubscribed just right now, but it's the damn truth. You can utilize the internet social media. You can use some of these things for really positive things. Now, I would say that if you're going on to things like Facebook and you're going on to things like Instagram, something to pay attention to is that if there's not a product being sold, then you're the product being sold. If there's not a product being sold, then you're the product being sold. And so pay attention to that. And what I mean by that is somebody is selling you to somebody else to push ads on you all day. And they intentionally make Facebook and Instagram and all these things, they intentionally make them addicting. And you could be wasting time on those things. YouTube, on the other hand, although it has some of the same setup, you can watch stuff and actually learn quite a bit. You're not going to learn a ton from Instagram. You're not going to learn a ton. Well, you can learn quite a bit from Facebook sometimes too, because they have longer format there. But I go on YouTube, I watch motivational videos, I watch, sometimes I'll watch a bodybuilding video, sometimes I'll watch a powerlifting video, sometimes I'll dive specifically into something more technical, like listening to my boy Noah Keegan. That guy's on fire, that guy knows a lot of shit. But that's like so techie crazy. I got to be in a certain mood for some of that stuff, even though he simplifies it like no other. Anyway, my point is, if you want to be successful and you want to take your life to the next level, it's as simple as doing stuff all the time rather than talking about doing stuff. You cannot build a reputation on things that you're going to do. I have tons of stuff that I'm going to do, but none of that stuff matters until it gets into your hands. You cannot build a reputation on the things that you're going to do. Henry Ford. And I learned some of this stuff in my own personal development classes. I'm really fired up. I'm really excited. I got a lot of shit going on that I'm really euphoric about. A couple different supplement ideas. Don't worry, I'm not going to pump out the same bullshit supplements as everybody else. And don't worry, I'm not going to pump out supplements that are the same as everybody else's and then claim that they're better than everybody else's. It's going to be a whole different genre of things to come. Fired up about some of that. I'm also super excited about a speaking engagement. If someone's by my car, might pound their face. Hold on a second. What's this guy doing? Hey! Okay. Guy looked like he was checking out my wheels there. You know, for being in Davis, I know I've had like 3 run-ins with people. I don't know what's happening around here, but I'll kill a motherfucker for that car. I know that shit. What the fuck was I talking about? Oh, God damn, people are annoying. What's the guy looking for anyway? There ain't nothing in the Slingermobile except for a couple pairs of $500 sunglasses, my laptop, a battery charger that costs more than that guy's life, and a couple other things probably. Excited about a lot of things that are coming up. Going to LA with my family. My wife's birthday is coming up. Fired up for that. Her and I are going to lock each other in a hotel room and have some sex wars going on. I'm going to get on the paint, smear on that paint, try to get a boner, see what happens with that. Great products to come. I'm creating a sport line for elbow sleeves and knee sleeves that are a different offshoot of some of the stuff I've created in the past. I have a "You're Off the Team" button coming soon. I know you guys have seen some of that, but it's here now. We have them in stock. Marky Moodall. Consistently working on apparel, like I said, with the hats. We got a lot of hats. We have that little tie-on doohickey that I had, do-rag thing. That'll be coming out pretty soon. But also getting into more businessy stuff. And the reason why I'm jumping into some of that stuff is I feel I have a lot to offer in that field. I don't think there's a lot of people that have squatted 1,080 and benched 854 pounds that are sharing information in the business space. So I think I can offer unique perspective. And then also I think there's just so many other people that I can learn from. I'm still a white belt. I'm still learning. I'm still keeping the mind as open as I possibly can. Anyway, hopefully that has answered a lot of questions for you guys. Satisfied athletes suck is what I always say, but in life you have to find satisfaction. You have to be excited. You have to be happy about a lot of the different things that are going on. Stop chasing after other people that don't want anything to do with you, and focus in on the people that love and care about you. Ed Cohn's birthday just came and passed, and I just always think about the quote that he shared with me years ago, and it's to be good to those people that are good to you and nothing else. Be good to those people that are good to you and nothing else. And I think that'll help you not waste your hate on a lot of other people. I love quotes, so if you have some good quotes, you can leave them in the comments below. If you think I fucking talked way too long, you can tell me. If you think I talked way too short, you can let me know. Like the video, share the video. Strength is never a weakness, and I'll catch you guys later.